I think it's very important to get experience, live playing, performing experience under your belt. You have direct feedback from the audience. When you make a record, there's no feedback. You go into the control room and you listen back and you go, okay, sounds okay to me. But when you have an actual audience, they let you know if it works or not, if they like it or not. And that can't be replaced. You can't replace that with anything. Every time you transition to a different kind of venue, there are changes that you make in the material you bring to that situation, the recordings that you make. They're just the way you perceive it. We started in small clubs, little tiny college auditoriums, schools, and then we transitioned to theaters, where we could actually be a headliner in a small way. We could play our own show. And then we graduated to coliseums and arenas where they play basketball and hockey. And it's a big change. You have to bring the right material to it. You can't just do songs like Just the Way You Are in coliseums. You need to rock. You need to, you got to have some dynamics. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to, study the right way to do it.
We played the Village a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Then we did a West Coast tour. We played this club in Seattle.
Oh yeah, what was that club?
I don't know.
The Fresh Air Tavern.
Yeah. But I remember they had a girl that did the monitors, and I was trying to pick her up.
Well, that was the whole point of being on the road.
Being on the road was find women. But one of the funniest things we ever did, one of the craziest things, was when we had those milkshake fights with rent-a-cars in a parking lot. Go to McDonald's and buy, 50 milkshakes, and then we go racing around this empty parking lot. We're lucky we didn't kill ourselves or run into each other and hit the windshield with the milkshakes.
Yeah, you got points for every hit.
Oh, we'd do some crazy things like that.
We're just kids.
Yeah.
We're barely out of our teens.
Right.
I remember that.
We had all kinds of...
We did play the Village a lot. I mean, the whole thing was to get out of Long Island and go somewhere else and work.
Yeah.
So after the clubs like the My House, well, the big club was the Action House.
Right.
That was the big club at the time. The Vagrants played there all the time. The Rascals played there. They even had 10 Years After.
Right.
And Traffic actually played there with Steve Winwood.
Wow.
And English bands would show up at the Action House. The Nice.
Oh, right.
Arabella. We were big into the English bands because the British invasion was still going on.
Yeah,
in the late 60s.
Different spin on things, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get my arms around that I am playing in baseball stadiums. I never thought of myself as a stadium-style act. But when the whole audience is singing along, that's really what makes it work. I mean, everybody's singing with me. It's almost like I'm not the only performer there. They're performing too. And you have this sense of community. It's like, our baseball team is winning. We're winning and the crowd is with us. And I hear this sometimes. Sometimes I even drop out and listen to the crowd sing. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling. And that's what makes it work. Because I don't know if I'd buy me as a stadium act to go and pay a lot of money and go sit in a baseball stadium and watch me. But when I'm hearing the crowd singing, this is why this works. This is why this is happening. When you first start out and you're on tour, and when you're with your buddies, it's kind of like a gang, like a traveling gang, and you're all friends. It's really not so much about the money. It's more about the community spirit, the friendship, seeing seeing America. We've all gone to look for America. Traveling in rent-a-cars, meeting girls again, and having that experience. And it's really, it's fun. It's really fun for the first couple of years. But after your life starts to settle down, you want to have a family, you want to have a relationship with somebody, You don't want to be schlepping around so much, because really the traveling is a job in itself. If you travel too much, it can wear you down. I remember when we first started out, we'd be on the road 9 months a year. I wouldn't even go home. I don't even know why I had a place, because I lived on the road. And a lot of acts did that for a long time. And eventually the glamour and the fun and the thrill wears off, and you just turn into a homebody. You'd prefer to stay at home, really.